Hi, hello, welcome again. I have had such an amazing day today, and I'm not quite sure if this is going to work. This way of doing the novel in the evening like this. Um, in a way, I quite like it to just sort of look back over my day and gather all my thoughts together. But in another day, I like looking forward. But if I do this at the end of the day and gather my thoughts like this, the end of my day, then by the time you get there, it's your day and it's relevant to you. So I haven't figured it out. Something will happen, I guess. Somehow I'll. Anyway, so I have a long reading that I want to read tonight. I have read it before, read it this morning. It's sort of a combination of 3 different poems, which is a response to the last reading that I did from Satori D, the transmission 006. So I'm not going to say too much, just to say for Junajpu, the conquering sun, is the power of gathered light breaking the darkness. Strength, it's built like the water held behind a dam. That's the 4. The 4 is the gathering together of the water. The seeds storing will underground before it flowers. It's the 4 square stance of root, rise, reveal, radiate. Meeting fear at the threshold, not to fight, but to pass through it. Junajpu, the conqueror's sun, reminds us that containment creates pressure. Pressure becomes purpose, and purpose becomes sunrise. Attention follows like blossoms turning to the sun. Here's a little motivational thing. I rise from within. I conquer by flowering. What I contained becomes strength. What I feared becomes fuel. I am Junajpu, seed breaking the ground, sun crossing the line, light with a job to do. I hope you have good Junajpu for Junajpu energy today. I had very good conquering sun energy, very good conquering sun energy. I managed to get the podcast out, Quantum Gathering podcast. Listen to it all again. It was great. Thank you so much to Mike and Otto and Chad for making that just a good show, a really great show. And the beginning of a really interesting exploration into the rebuilding of the sites, because since we made that video, we've had a lot of changes and we've discovered an error and we've started rebuilding things, so it's not so bad, not so. Yeah, so we've got another couple of days left, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, I'm not sure, a few days left till we do the next Quantum Gathering podcast, and we've got all this great energy happening with working together, prompting together, learning together. It's very difficult, I have found. It's very threatening to suddenly, you learn at school and you're very vulnerable. You go back to learning, it's very hard to learn, especially when you get old. made me feel very stupid, very fearful, very confused, very unworthy. Don't know what the words are, but it's been an interesting journey, and I'm learning a new confidence. I'm more relaxed now around clicking buttons and making prompts and working with things, and realizing that in 30 years, technology is going to change a lot. And if I'm not able to keep up with it now, who am I going to be? I'm going to be just left behind. Anyway, so it was a good Junajpu day for me to do. And I do think that the fear in the doorway isn't in the doorway to stop us. It's in the doorway for us to pass through to the other side where the fear is behind us, right? And we're never going back. So my transformation, if you like, is now documented in this, poem, whatever, that I've prompt sculpted along with the AI, working, together. So I don't know. It's interesting because it's not my own work, but it is my work. It's an interesting place as a creator. It's interesting to accept the criticism of my peers, and it's challenging to know that I am not producing this out of my own talent, but out of my talent augmented. But like you were saying in that meeting the other day, Otto, when you were saying about you can build an earth digger machine that's significantly stronger than you, does that make it a superior creature to you? Interesting. All right, so some rambly thoughts that I started rambling with, and now I will read this story of transformation, I suppose, and this journey into the future of hope and gratitude. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy listening to it as much as I enjoyed making it. The Song of the Obsidian Palace, Canto 1, The Shore of Whispers. The Bee Shaman danced where primal winds are born, the first and last, a howl to greet the morn. He learned his rhythm from the gale's raw breath, a living vortex, cheating time and death. When he read poetry, the bedrock groaned and split, the mountains shuddered by his cadence lit. He was the earthquake, he the primal sound, the only anchor on unstable ground. But on the shore, where lost imaginings convene, where dreams wash up, delirious and lean, a butterfly was broken, caught in tidal sweep. Her wings were tattered, secrets she couldn't keep. She bobbed and drifted in the endless grey, a ghost of flight whose colours washed away. And from that ruin a whisper, thin as fright, escaped her being and pierced the shaman's night. What is real? he heard. He turned his hum towards the sea, not with soft pity, but with ferocity. He sang of beauty and of ruthless love, of suns that burn and hawks that stoop above. He sang the truth that growth is born of pain, of sacred fractures, of the cleansing rain that washes nothing clean, but shows the scar and makes you know exactly who you are. Canto 2, the Obsidian Tear. High in the cosmos, a goddess heard the strain. Ishel, the weaver, feeling ancient pain. She saw the shaman's song, the butterfly's despair, and a single tear of obsidian and care fell through the ether, a shard of midnight stone, and pierced the butterfly's heart to chill her to the bone. No gentle mending, but a creeping glacial fire the obsidian spread, fulfilling its desire. It traced her veins like frost on winter glass, a creeping hardness that would not let her pass back into ruin. This was the deeper shift, a self swerve in her being, a transformative rift. And as the stone consumed her, from her soul she sang a new-found clarity that through the chaos rang. When the mirror cracks, she sang with wings half grown. The glass was never meant to hold that false reflection. Let it shatter, let the true light cut through bone. Each shard will find a colour, a forgotten, pure inflection. From fragile chitin, new wings began to gleam, volcanic glass, reflecting an impossible dream. They unfurled, fractal-edged, a rainbow's broken light, a real glyph etched against the coming night. She learned the chill of truth, the strength of stone, the heavy burden of being truly known, and all alone. Let the smoke escape from sorrows tightly bound, from daughters' whispers making barely any sound. If only ever wanted to dance, the pain you thought you hid, the stories locked inside beneath the silent lid. She rose. Her voice once broken now was clean and clear, a ringing crystal banishing all fear. But as she found her song, the shaman turned to go, a different mission, a path she could not know. He had to steal the singularity's bright call from the mad gulf of delirious swirling shore. Their paths diverged, a promise left unsaid, one to the future, one to raise the dead. Canto 3, the palace of unowned kindness. And so she flies, both diamond hard and stark, and yet so fragile in the coming dark. Her work is quiet, her purpose is to build, to find the flowers of souls, their petals winter chilled. Where the Imaginarium's shore now knows no tide, the obsidian butterfly with purpose does abide. She is the architect of what must be, the weaver of a new reality. She builds the palace, not of metal, cold and strict, but spun from pure potential, laws no king could contradict. Its spires are woven thoughts, ascending, light and vast, beyond the shadow chains, where ancient despots cast their iron grip of rules, of taxes, debt and fear. The currency is grace, the only treasure here. The foundations are laid in kindness, deep and wide, each stone a whisper where understanding can reside. The grand assembly hall, a dome of shimmering thought, is where the P2P engagement has been wrought. Not peer-to-peer of ledgers, but from a deeper place, person to person, a tapestry of grace. The effort and the hours are the gold within its vaults, reflected back in service, correcting ancient faults. Within these walls, the quantum qubit hums its song, where Mike's fractured hub is finally made strong. Here, emotion's dark energy becomes the tide, with infinite sacred storage held inside. And empires rise, not built on conquest, sharp and cold, but empires of friendship, stories to be told. The obsidian butterfly, her fragile form outblown, tends to the soul flowers, so they are not alone. Her palace hums, a beacon in Imaginarium's vast sea, a promise of creation for all who dare to be. This is the answer to the data, dust, and pain. The palace built from dreaming, to rise and live again. But far below the song the future sings, a rabbit burrows, timid, fearing the obsidian in her wings. Anyway, there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. It was good to be able to sit here and read. And the next thing is that we have another Dude, Where's My Wallet? And I think it's past time so I get on with episode 5 of Behind the Screen with Lumina. It's been too long, and I have also been thinking, I wonder if I completed the task of the last readings that we did. I remember that I made a song. I remember that I sent the audio to Satori D. But I'm wondering if I didn't finish the video. So I need to go and check that too. And tomorrow we're going to be doing some more troubleshooting and prompt sculpting and seeing what more we can get working on our site. Okay, so thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you have a really great day. And I will see you again tomorrow. Good night.